My husband is best friend with his ex-wife. My husband 36M and I 34F had been married for 8 years, together for 14, and we have a 4-year-old daughters. That is our whole life. He had been married before with Eliza, his best friend. They married at 18 and lasted 2 years and divorced. They remained best friend, and when we started dating Eliza, my husband's other best friend, Jack, and my husband were a tight-knit. Eliza was one of the bros, and I always was the girlfriend, and later, the wife, always an outsider. His 2 friends are single, so our house was always a place to crash. Even since we moved together, they would show unannounced and do their own thing while I made snacks and full meals. For the first year, I tried my best to integrate into their clique, but never worked out. It was always awkward, and I felt I was inserting myself where I didn't belong. So I stopped trying and relegate myself to be great host and let them do their things. I didn't notice at first, but over the years resentment had built. I feel like a 50s housewife serving drinks and lighting cigarettes to men. My husband on his own is amazing and love him. He had been a great partner and my best friend during this 14 years. Per Lamas, I am not his best friend. Eliza is. Every single thing that happens in our life had to be discussed and analyzed with Eliza early in a relationship. I got pregnant, I took the test early in the night, and we were really scared. Despite this, he was so reassuring with me, holding me the whole night and told he was ready to do whatever I wanted to do. I said I needed to really think about it. Next day we went to our classes and agreed to lunch together. When we met, he asked me how I was and all, then told he had the contact of a doctor who did abortions. It was illegal back then. I asked how he found one so fast when wasn't sure what to do. He called Eliza early in the morning and she had a friend. I felt so betrayed because this was something that belonged to me, and he went and shared it with someone else. Not just someone else, is Eliza, come on, he said. During the next days, Garchibine, I saw him. He has new information from Eliza and Eliza's friend. I was so confused and scared, and Eliza convinced my boyfriend we needed to it fast because it would be easier. It was so much pressure. I agreed. Long story short, it was a rat hole doctor office and I almost died there. To this day, I don't know if I should have kept the baby or no, but better not think about it. When my boyfriend proposed, Eliza was fake mad. He didn't said first to her he was going to propose to me. The only way to placate her was to has her as a best man, despite my husband having a male best friend. Every little or major event in our life turns into, yeah, I'm gonna tell now Eliza, you know how she gets. I was say as a child and told this to my husband. He was the first person I talked about it. Months later, Eliza and I were alone in out kitchen, and she started to talk about something she heard in the news about a girl raped by a family member and then hugged me. When I started to try for a child and I got pregnant, I asked my husband to keep this for us for a little. It was Sunday when I saw Eliza. She congratulated me. I ended up miscarrying. I started to look for a doctor to help me deal with my depression again, something I wanted to keep to myself. Eliza was so understanding. When I was pregnant with my daughter, Eliza came full of advice on things I should do. I told her to mind her own russins, which really hurt her feelings. I stood on my ground and told my husband I wasn't going to raise my kid with Eliza and didn't want to hear any advice from her. This was a big fight with my husband because I was rude and Eliza was family and already considered herself and auntie. This had been the only time I had given an ultimatum to my husband. Eliza better keep herself away from my motherhood or we'll leave. Now resentment has reached a point when I don't want her near me or my house or my husband. I feel she is more married to my husband than I. My whole life feels like I live best friends to lover drama. I am not sure why I am writing this preview because I am alone in a coffee shop and thinking I want my husband to be my husband and not feel like a lame love interest in someone else. Epic love story in the past. My husband thought I was being childish, despite loving him. I can't keep to be married like this. I don't feel I can trust to talk to him again without involving Eliza. I don't want to hold an ultimatums.